Major Saab, Namaskaram, as they say in Udaga Mandalam, long for Uti, where you were in charge of that resort, ex World War II veteran, Field Marshal Cariappa's ADC, AD Corps, and also my father's uncle, maternal uncle. I remember three interactions with you. One, of course, I wasn't around, but I did hear the story. And the first one, coming to the first one, that was when we came over to Uti to spend some time with you, and our teacher's family was also with us, with me, and you drew out the chair for the little girl to sit on that chair. And with all the fear and respect that I had towards you, it was very humbling to see how you did that. I was very appreciative of that. And the second thing I remember was about when my brother was in the hospital because of some food poisoning issue. And you had told him that at his age, when you were his age, you could digest stones. That's because of your experience in the army and in Austria, where you were building bridges for Allied forces. Yep. And the third interaction was with me when I was lying on the floor, sprawling because of a liver problem, and you said that, you just came hitting me with your walking stick and expecting me to step up and get back on my feet. Well, I couldn't back then, at that point, but I knew what you were thinking, that I would eventually, which I did, eventually. And not just as an officer and gentleman like you are, but because there were much bigger challenges lying in front of me. And just the way you did it, you knew something in you was telling you that even I would do it, which I did. Now, after having said that, I remember when we first met, you were, you know, already maybe in your 50s or 60s already, but you did not have that walking stick. And that battle, the legal battle that you fought, by that time you were already on the walking stick, but you still fought and you won. But this is not really about yourself, myself. There was something about this movie, The Pirates of the Caribbean, which you would have enjoyed it if you had watched it. And the scene was that of people who were dead and in the sea, and there are already skeletons, like, their bodies are wasted and all that remains is the skeleton. But something happens and they come back to life. Now from underwater, they are still up on their feet. And there was a fight that they weren't part of, but just because the skeletons came to life, they got back into that fight. And that's just what happens with that spirit. It never dies. It never dies. So your legacy is still alive, and as long as the fight is on, we are on, I am on, and taking things ahead, one step at a time, or you can put it this way, one fight at a time. And you might be asking me, what does the enemy have? Haha. Now the enemies, they've got, whatever the enemies got, the enemies got. And then you'll ask me, what do I have? The same thing that you had, a walking stick. I could be having a wheelchair, but not yet. It might come. After speaking of the Pirates of the Caribbean, let's move on to the Magnificent Seven. This is also one of the movies which I am sure you have watched. Now, what I wanted to tell about the Magnificent Seven is very different from what I just spoke. You see, Major, people have been inspired by you. I know of a couple odd who haven't been inspired by me. But I would tell them the same thing that this actor in The Magnificent Seven said. That do not look at me and try to become like me. Do not do that. I sincerely request the children who are in their adolescence, approaching adulthood, look at your parents. Look at what they have done for you. Do not look at fighters. Your parents are also fighting a battle every moment of their lives just for your sake. They might not be as inspiring as the people you see on screen, but after you have reached your adulthood, sometime in your 20s, before you hit 30, you will realize that what odds they have fought just so that you had a good education, just to put that food on your table. The world's problems, they will get solved when they get. But your problems were most important for your parents, for your father, for your mother. And you do not have to lead the same life that your parents have led, but do respect that fight that they have fought to bring you up onto your feet. The walking stick is not for everybody. It's for just some of us. Or the wheelchair, for that matter. Major Ebenezer's done his bit, and we have done ours. When you get to do your bit, stay grounded, stay focused, and refresh yourself adequately. Jai Hind.